Newlywed Blake Shelton is no stranger to #1 parties. Since his debut single, Austin, in 2001, Blake has taken the #1 spot 8 times, including his latest, Who Are You When I'm Not Looking. Kelly Lynn caught up with the writers of that hit song at a BMI party to celebrate.
We're here at BMI today for a big #1 party, one of my favorite songs, and I'm here with one of the writers, Earl Bud Lee. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Kelly. It's good to be here today. I was invited. I'm with ASCAP, and I'm a third wheel over here.
Oh, well, I'm sure they're just so delighted that you got with their writer, BMI, you got with John Wiggins, and you guys. Now, you wrote this song, what, several years ago?
About 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I just come off of 3 years off and working on other projects, and sat down with John one day at lunch and had this song title, Who Are You When I'm Not Looking? And John had the same song title.
You're kidding.
Who Are You When I'm Not Looking? His story, he can tell you a little bit about it, but it was meant to be. We were meant to write the song together.
Yes.
We got together, I was just tallying it up. I think with John's work and my work on the song, we probably have a total of 9 hours.
My oh my, you're so good looking.
John Wiggins, you came in, you guys both had this idea the same day?
Yeah, Bud and I had been talking about writing for a long time, and he called me one day and said, come to lunch, and I've got a song idea I want to share with you. And I said, okay, what is it? And he said, it's Who Are You When I'm Not Looking? And I said, you're not going to believe this, but I've got the same idea. And he's like, no way. I'm like, way. No. And so we go back and forth. So anyway, I tell him the story. I took the song idea to another very prominent writer who I have a lot of respect for, and the guy shot the idea down, and I was like, oops. So maybe I felt like an idiot. I was like, okay, maybe it's not that good of an idea, and I kind of forgot about it. So with Bud, he mentioned it to me like 8 months later. I was like, I can't believe I got the same idea. So it was destined for us to write it together.
Yes, it was. And I bet the guy that decided that wasn't what he wanted to write that day is beating himself now.
Well, you know, with all due respect, some writers don't, he probably wasn't shooting the idea itself down, but it's some writers do a certain thing and other writers don't.
Right.
And some guys don't like to talk about stuff like that. They'd rather talk about drinking beer, but are right about it. So, you know, he might be beating himself up a little bit.
I want somebody before this is over to explain to everybody what do you paint your toes because you bite your nails means, because everybody thinks a girl's sticking her foot in her mouth or something like that. It makes sense to me, but screw it, it went #1 now anyway.
Who are you when I'm not around?
You know, Kelly, you're a girl, and you girls have these little things you do,
Yes,
right?
we do. We're all...
Call up mama when the boy isn't acting right. Or I've seen my mom and my sister. It's basically about every girl I've ever known.
Well, and you guys nailed it. It's so real. I don't know that I have found a song that, I mean, it just sticks out in my mind. It's just a really great one, and obviously fans loved it. Blake went after it, even after Joe Nichols had recorded it.
Well, that's the song pretty much did its own thing. It really did. We had an artist from Canada record it, and then it went and Tony discovered the song that way and cut it or brought it to Joe Nichols' attention. And then from there, I guess Joe got married and went to rehab.
Yes.
And then Blake heard it off of that record and decided that he wanted it for his own, and we're so very happy he did.
He did. He made it his own and got a #1 straight there.
I know it. I know it. We're real proud of the song, and I'm so proud of John Wiggins. He's another part of this song. He can tell you, you know, what he did. He actually took the song in the studio and did all the work there.
Who are you when I'm not looking?
You took this into the studio and worked it up. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I love the song, but it didn't have the little I want to know in it, and I wanted to demo it, and it just felt like it was it was winding too tight and it wasn't releasing. And I called Bud and I said, why don't we put just a 3-line release in there? I don't know what we're going to say, but think about it tonight. Well, the next day, I called him before I went in the studio. I think I got it, and it's as simple as I want to know, I want to know, I want to know. And he's like, yeah, that's it. So we go in and demo it, and of course we started getting really good reaction right off the bat with the song. But we wrote that song in 2003, so it's taken, you know, Joe cut it like in 05 or 06, and then that didn't happen. So it's taken all these years for it to finally find its place.
And that happens a lot. I mean, there are great songs. I know publishers always seem to pitch the freshest ones, but there's songs in those catalogs that are just gemstones when you find them.
They are, but you know, I think it's everybody's natural tendency to go with what's fresh and new and just been turned in, and you know, it's hard to go back. Sometimes it's painful to go back through all those old demos and scratch around and go, well, maybe this is something we've already exhausted it once. Maybe there's a place for it now. But it's all about the song. If the song's good enough, it'll find a place.
But who are you when I'm not looking?
Blake has not had a single peak outside of the top 10 in over 4 years, so his latest single, Honeybee, is bound to do well, which is still climbing the charts. Look for his new album with that song to hit stores July 12th. We've got tons more music up ahead, so don't go away. We're heading over to Lipscomb University for a very special program for our military veterans. We'll be right back.